This is the Italian Citizenship Podcast, hosted by Marco Permunian and Rafael Di Furia.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Italian Citizenship Podcast presented by ItaliancitizenshipAssistance.com. We, of course, are back here again with Italian attorney Marco Permunian. Hello there. How are you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Today, we wanted to talk about something that is very vital and very central to what you do at ICA for your clients, and not just for, but with your clients. You offer a free eligibility assessment service, something that I know, somebody who's not a part of ICA and who has done some research looking around, that there are companies out there or individuals who charge sometimes hundreds and hundreds of dollars for what you guys do for free. So that's something that I'm just going to say off the bat, one of the many reasons why I respect what you all do at ICA. But I think it could be worthwhile for the individuals who are about to go through that, so that maybe it could help them so that you can better help them. What are maybe some of the topics that you discuss during your initial phases and even your phone call session that you'll have with these possible potential clients?
Thank you, and thank you for mentioning the phone calls, because I just want to maybe clarify that not only we offer a free eligibility evaluation service, but also a free phone consultation, a free initial phone consultation that is completely free of charge, in that it's aimed at discussing our services and the eligibility. But we sometimes offer multiple phone calls to people who need to clarify their doubts. So it's not a one-time phone consultation, but sometimes a
series of consultations.
And the same can happen via email. So if people have questions before they become our clients, we just before we even talk about money, we want to make sure that they're clear on our services, and more importantly, that we determine if they qualify for Italian citizenship. So actually, it happens very frequently that we exchange emails for people for weeks before they become our clients. And during this time, we determine in most cases whether or not the person is eligible for Italian citizenship by descent.
I know, actually, just to chime in here quickly, there's one thing that I know you've told me about in the background before, that there have been people who've contacted you who were in contact with maybe another service provider who had charged them money and all of a sudden said, hey, yeah, we don't think you're eligible for citizenship. We don't think that we're not going to do anything for you. They don't return the money, or at least not any good sizable portion of that. But then they come to you and you actually determine that they, in fact, can move forward with that process. And so that's something, again, kind of coming back to this idea of this free eligibility assessment, and why I respect you guys is because you don't even touch that side of things before actually determining that factor. And you've actually picked up the pieces where others have clearly failed.
Absolutely. And it's, I have to say, frustrating to see sometimes how poorly these evaluations to determine the eligibility of a person have been done by others.
It's really so sad that that's the case. But I guess when it gets into it, maybe what are some of the first things that you discuss or even think about that are really important for you to know to be able to help them better?
Normally what we ask people to do is we ask them to fill out a family chart where they put all the information starting from themselves, going back to the Italian-born ancestor. Very often we send this chart by email, normally after the person first gets in contact with us. But a digital version of this family chart is also available on our website, so people can just go there and just fill it out directly. So that would be the starting point, having this family chart completed, which is basically a family tree, which helps me determine whether the person qualifies for Italian citizenship or not. Now, one question that I'm often asked is, what if I don't have all the information? What if I don't know who my Italian ancestor was, or his date of birth, or his place of birth? And my answer is, as long as you have an ancestor who you know was born in Italy, or even if you don't know who that ancestor was, but you have maybe all the information for the next generation, it's easy for me to retrieve the missing information. Or even if you do know who your ancestor was, but you don't have maybe other information pertaining to other individuals in your Italian line. So maybe you know exactly who your great-grandfather was, but then you don't really know much about your grandfather. That's fine. So it's not important to have all the information. That's what we're here for. As part of the free eligibility assessment, we do research. We actually help people with the research. We have access to many databases, and we try to track down information, names, dates, and this is all part of the free initial assessment. So we try to establish a link between the individuals in the Italian line, from the applicant back to the person born in Italy. And not only we do that, of course, but also we research information on the naturalization of the Italian-born ancestor, or the non-naturalization information on basically whether or not the ancestor became naturalized in the US, which is, as we know, a key piece of information to determine if the person qualifies for Italian citizenship. But we do all that as part of the free initial assessment. So all we need people to do is fill out this chart, and then we start the research. And of course, there are different situations. There are people who do have all the information already, so it's easier for me to assess the case, or people who don't have a lot of information and need us to do the research. We have a team at ICA of 6-7 people that carries out research for potential clients. So they only deal with people who are not yet clients and for which we need to establish if they even qualify
So these are people who are specialized in doing this research. That is their focus at ICA.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. And so I actually, maybe just to quickly interrupt you before we continue in that, just so that there's an idea of how long this can take, because I know there's a lot of work that you all do on the back end, but roughly speaking, how long does this eligibility assessment take in total?
Every case is unique. So it can go from 1 to 2 days to sometimes a couple of weeks if it's a difficult research that we are carrying out. If there is no information, that we have to go deeper and deeper to see, for example, where your ancestor was from. But really, ultimately, we do take as much time as needed for the case to be evaluated. And like I said, every case is unique, so it depends in the end of the complexity of the evaluation. But we do dedicate really the time that is necessary for us to be able to give an answer to the person who contacts us.
And so I know that the phone call ends up being a very key part of this. Once you guys have already gone through some of these initial parts, what does that phone call look like? What would a person expect to maybe hear from you when they're actually talking to you on the phone?
Well, first of all, let me just start by saying that not everybody requires or needs or wants a phone call. Some people, believe it or not, some of our even older clients that we have worked with for a very long time, we started with emails. We exchanged maybe a lot of emails, but never talked on the phone. And some people do prefer emails, but for those people who want the phone call, it's actually the same. We do provide the same information via email or via telephone, whatever the person prefers. But the point is, during this initial phase, what we do is we ask questions about the person's goals, what they're trying to accomplish with their Italian citizenship, and we try to advise them on how it is best to pursue Italian citizenship. For example, some people, they want to relocate to Italy or the European Union as soon as possible. So for those people, it may be worthwhile to file the application in Italy. Some people, they're just looking to get the Italian citizenship for then relocate in the future, or maybe they don't even want to relocate. So maybe for those people, we talk about the application through an Italian consulate. There are people who move a lot within the US, so we try to determine which is the best place where they can file the citizenship application. Then, of course, normally they ask us about their children and spouses. So we talk about the citizenship for the children, and the children are normally included in the parent's application. But for the spouse, we talked about this in other videos, it is normally a separate process. So we talk about the requirements for the spouse, and we talk about the different approaches that can be taken by the spouse. For instance, if we're talking about citizenship through marriage, we discuss the requirements, the language test. If we're talking about urgent relocation to the European Union with the spouse, we talk about residency options, for example, the residency permit for spouses. So that's what we discuss during the initial phase, not only about the eligibility and our services, but also about the plan that the person has to determine the best way to go.
So you could, like, if you're talking about urgent, are you talking about like emergency, like health, or are you talking about like work options?
Either one. Some people, they do want to relocate to the European Union because it's their plan to do so, because they want to attend school, because they purchase a property, because they want to retire there, and they have maybe a personal urgency. They just have been wanting to move for a long time, and they say, okay, enough is enough. I want to move as soon as possible because that's my dream. So, but there could be other types of urgency. Some people, they need to play professional basketball in Italy or have job offers in the European Union, and that's why they require citizenship. So we talk about each case individually, and we try to understand the reasons why each person wants to obtain Italian citizenship and or relocate in the European Union.
So I guess even other than like just the knowing the basic information about your family, and to be able to share that with you so you can better help them, I guess part of the other way that they can better help you to help them would be by also having that idea of that clarity. What's going on in life? What are they looking for? What are they wanting? What are the goals? Are there any other maybe factors that end up becoming important for that conversation? Or maybe is there any other parts of the conversation through phone or via email that are worth diving into?
Of course, many people are interested in understanding the type of services that we offer, and the most requested service is our full service, our full executive package, where we assist people in the process from beginning to end. So we help them from securing the appointment with the consulate to procuring all the documents from Italy, the US, amending documents, translations, legalization. Of course, we offer legal advice throughout the process. We prep them for their appointment, and we assist them after the appointment with the IRA registration, the passport application. So the full service, basically, as I explained to my clients, it's really a turnkey package where you don't have to do anything. We do everything. We just keep you posted throughout the process so that you are constantly up to date with the progress. We offer other types of services. For example, some people, they are interested, like very interested, and it's very fascinating for them to actively work in the process because they're retired. It's fascinating for them to procure documents and see all their documents, but they understand that the citizenship process it's a difficult one, so they require guidance. And we do have a package where we guide people throughout the entire process. So rather than taking care of the process for them, we help them constantly in the process. We provide guidance and we walk them through the process in detail. So we tell them exactly what documents they have to procure, in which format, how to go about amending documents, what to expect during the appointment. So it's similar to our full service to some extent, because we do take care of the whole process anyway, but we take a step backward and we let them do the work that they're passionate about, and we just guide them behind the scenes throughout the whole process. And then finally, we offer some other more basic services. For example, Italian documents procurement. Some people, they are basically almost at the finish line and they just need us to procure the Italian documents, which maybe it's more difficult for them to do because they don't reside in Italy, or some people, they have the package ready to go, the application ready to file at the consulate, and they want us to review the application to make sure that they have everything they need. So these are the kind of questions that we go through normally during the initial phone calls or consultations. Of course, people also ask us about ICA, and I think there is a whole episode about ICA that we did in the past. We are attorneys, so that's something that may make a difference in the end, to have an attorney, an Italian attorney, who helps you throughout the process. We don't outsource any work, so even the so-called 1948 cases, where normally you can have a company that maybe procure all the documents, and an attorney in Italy, a separate attorney, who handles the 1948 case. But in our case, it's all one thing. We are one whole international
Everything is
company.
done in-house.
Exactly.
But you mentioned that you're an international company, so maybe do you want to just quickly go into that and what that means in regards to ICA?
Absolutely. We are an Italian company and law firm, and we are an American company. So we are present in both countries. We're based in Los Angeles, in the US, and in northern Italy, in the Veneto region, where we are now.
A beautiful place. The home of grappa and spritz, where spritz is a religious event. And so kind of so far, we've spoken a bit about how you communicate before getting started and what this primary piece looks like. But what does it look like once the ball starts rolling and the process gets started? How does that look like on your end? And even how do you keep in communication with your clients?
This is a question that it's very frequently asked during the initial phone calls or exchange of emails. People ask me, how are you going to get in touch with me during the process? How am I going to be kept in the loop during the process? How do I get updates? And our team, so we have a team of people that work on a limited number of cases. So each person works under my supervision on a very limited number of cases. And that allows each dual citizenship specialist to be able to handle all the cases with the proper care and attention, and allows them to communicate with clients very frequently. So as a matter of fact, during the process, as I tell my potential clients, when they send us an email, they can expect a response within 1 business day, sometimes the same day. If they call us, they can call us at any time. If you're not available, we call back the same day or the day after. They can schedule phone consultation with us at any point in the process, as many times as they want. But otherwise, even if they don't have this proactive approach, even if the client just doesn't really want to be bothered as much, what happens is we send them updates anytime something happens, anytime we get a new document, anytime we get a document amended, and anytime we finish the procurement of the documents and start the legalization process, we tell the client, normally via email. So our clients can expect constant updates during the process, even if they don't ask for updates. We get in contact with them and we tell them what happens, what we're doing, which documents we procured, how much time is left for the process, and any other important information.
I mean, that's great. And I can assume that also during this time, they're not going to expect any spam email. Any email that they get from you guys is just directly about this process.
Of course, absolutely.
No, that's a fantastic. That's something that I remember you and I had spoken about a while back, is that you don't participate in any of that constant marketing updates. It's like your clients only receive the information that they want directly from you. And I think that's a really respectable thing that forget about Italian citizenship, but not enough companies do these days, just bombarding people with emails. So just before we finish off here, are there any other questions that maybe we haven't touched on that you get frequently when this process is getting started?
Some people have asked me if they will be able to get in touch with me directly during the process, maybe because, they've talked to me during the initial phone consultation, so they got to know me. Maybe they watch your podcasts, so they know me and you. So they ask me, will I be able to talk to you directly during the process? And the answer is always yes. So I'm very available to my clients. Whenever they wish to talk to me directly, they can schedule a phone consultation with me. They can give me a call. Normally, all of our clients, they have my direct email. I work actively on all of the cases that we take on at ICA. I work with an amazing team of dual citizenship specialists, and I'm constantly up to date on clients' cases. Even if my team double checks all the details, I come in to triple check all the details. So our clients, they can expect me to be up to date on their cases. And like I said, it's easy for them to talk to me one or multiple times during the process via email or via telephone.
Oh, that's fantastic. And of course, I think actually this is a great place to round off, unless we've missed anything, because it sounds like we've covered a lot of ground here.
I think we talked about many of the most asked questions. We may have left out some, but
well, I guess that just means we're going to have to do another episode. But if people are looking for that help and need some assistance during this process, how can they get in contact with you?
People can contact us through our website, ItalianCitizenshipassistance.com, or give us a call. The number is on the website.
And of course, if anybody is interested in any more information about the Italian citizenship process and interested in more information about all of the different pieces that are involved, you can visit the YouTube channel that this video is on, where you can see all of the library of content that we've created so far, as well as content about the Italian real estate process and purchasing property here in Italy on the Italian Real Estate Podcast. And of course, also if you're interested in any other information about life in Italy, living in Italy, and living in Italy as an Italian dual citizen, feel free to come over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Rafael Di Furia, where I talk all about these subjects and even get out and about and show you some of the beautiful parts of Italy. Of course, also, we have been here with Italian attorney from ItalianCitizenshipassistance.com, Marco Permunian, and I am Rafael Di Furia, and we will see you all next time. Later.
Thank you.